Hey, welcome to day 244. We are in Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and Psalms. So let's get at it. Just a few points today to make, and I think this is really important. We have another sighting of Meshach and Tubal in Ezekiel 32, 26. It says, Meshach and Tubal are there, surrounded by the graves of all their hordes. They once struck terror in the hearts of people everywhere, but now they are outcasts, all slaughtered by the sword. So the point here is that Meshach and Tubal, Turkey, Russia, all these northern nations that came against Israel in that war are annihilated miraculously by God. And so this is just something saying, hey, there are no more. And then we have this watchman sound the alarm. So Ezekiel 33, verses 3 through 5, it says, when the watchman sees the enemy coming, he sounds the alarm to warn the people. Then if those who hear the alarm refuse to take action, it is their own fault if they die. This has everything to do, well, let's read verse 5. They heard the alarm, but ignored it. So the responsibility is theirs. If they had listened to the warning, they could have saved their lives. That is exactly what the rapture is. The warning signs are here. We've been talking about it. Jesus started it, and it's been 2,000 years, and people have turned their backs on it. Won't listen to the warning signs. Won't listen to all the watchmen we have throughout the world. If they had listened to the warning, they could have saved their lives. And then 2 Thessalonians, it says, God will send a deception on them, and they will believe the lies that the Antichrist tells them. But God doesn't want wicked people to be thrown into hell. So he says in Ezekiel 33, 11 through 12, this is what he says. As surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, I take no pleasure in the death of wicked people. He's not up there going, oh, they're going to get theirs. These are his people. We are all his children. We matter to him, the good and the bad. Turn from your wickedness, O people of Israel. Why should you die? So you're not just talking about, of course, Israel just is more wicked than Sodom and Gomorrah ever was, because that's what we read about, the things they were doing. They were worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, but because of God's promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he did not annihilate them like he did Sodom and Gomorrah. There's something there that he wanted to show. Then we have a Ham sighting. Remember the descendants of Ham, all the Archites, Hivites, Idites, whatever you want to call them. So some of them are wiped out in 1 Chronicles 4, verse 40. They found lush pastures. We're talking about Simeon's descendants. They found lush pastures there, and the land was spacious, quiet, and peaceful. Some of Ham's descendants had been living in that region. But during the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah, the last king of Judah, before they were taken away, these leaders of Simeon invaded the region and completely destroyed the homes of the descendants of Ham and of the Meunites. Okay, no trace of them remains today. That's just some of, in that land, there were Ham's descendants that made up the Arab world of today. So they're all cursed, and they got something coming to them at that point. Vengeance is the Lord's, not ours. He has a plan. When you start looking at what we're reading here, all of this stuff we've read, there is a plan, and we're part of it. And the more you read this and get this and put these lists in place, you all of a sudden you feel like, oh, wait a minute, I'm on the right team. So this is so very important. We're getting into these prophetic things. We are really close to hitting all of these prophecies. We've already touched on them. And then we're going to hit into the New Testament and how that all plays into Revelation, the revealing of Christ. That's your day 244. I'll see you tomorrow.